Dubai is the most opulent city on the planet. Dubai was just a little village in the middle of the desert 50 years ago. Today, Dubai is the most glamorous face of the Middle East and the most popular tourist destination in the region. You've probably seen pictures of the Burj Al Arab Hotel, on a man-made island, a crescent-shaped skyscraper. You may also know that the tallest building in the world is in Dubai. You might have even seen Tom Cruise climb it in one of the Mission Impossible movies. The name of that building is the Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa stands at a height of 722 feet. We're sure you know a little bit about what makes this city so great. So here's all the over-the-top wildly expensive things you can find in Dubai. But before anything else, if you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this. Let's start with a brief history lesson. How did Dubai evolve from a small desert town to the opulent oasis it is today? Oil is how Abu Dhabi, like the rest of the United Arab Emirates, became so wealthy. Abu Dhabi, which is only 90 miles from Dubai, is the world's wealthiest metropolis, with 10% of the world's oil supply. The United Arab Emirates was propelled into the first world by oil production. Dubai grew to become one of the most populous cities in the Middle East as a result of the influx of millions of people. However, oil barely accounts for 5% of Dubai's revenue today, as its reserves aren't nearly as valuable as those of its UAE neighbors. The majority of Dubai's earnings comes from trading real estate and tourism. Since it can no longer rely solely on oil production, Dubai has become the UAE's business capital. This change, however, hasn't stopped this tremendously wealthy metropolis from expanding. Dubai's population is expanding at the same rate as its vertical growth. In fact, Dubai is home to 1/4 of all cranes in the world. That's correct. Approximately a quarter of all cranes in the world are concentrated in just one UAE city. Dubai's game plan appears to be to keep adding skyscrapers. The aforementioned skyscrapers were two of them. The Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab Hotel are both located in Dubai. The Burj Khalifa stands more than a half a mile tall. It's so tall that at its highest stories, the structure can swing several feet at the mercy of the wind. This, however, was not forgotten by the architects of this gigantic skyscraper. The Burj Khalifa was created in such a way that the sway would be too sluggish for the vestibular system in the inner ear to even register. That's the part of the ear that gives equilibrium if you happen to be unburdened by interference. The Burj Al Arab is a stunning 5-star hotel located just a few hundred feet from the ground. The Al Arab is the world's 6th largest hotel because of its one-of-a-kind shape. The hotel has a total height of 56 stories. Although it is officially designated as a 5-star hotel, some have referred to it as a 7-star establishment. The authority on the subject of luxury hotels has not been agreed upon. Hence, this 7-star title is open for argument. Regardless of whether it has 7 stars or not, this hotel is genuinely wonderful. Spending a night in the royal suite at the Al Arab will set you back a little over $24,000. Around 1,790 square meters of 24-karat gold leaf embellish the interior of the Burj Al Arab. Man-made islands are as popular as skyscrapers in this city. For both the Palm Island project and the World Island project, a lot of money was required in order for them to be realized. The development of the Palm Islands required 94 million cubic meters of sand, which cost $12 billion. 94 million cubic meters of sand could fill the Empire State Building 2.5 times. Next, let's talk about the police. Law enforcement isn't normally associated with luxury, but in Dubai, it certainly is. Dubai's police department uses supercars as patrol vehicles as a way to attract tourists. Included in this are vehicles like the Ferrari FF, which sells for about $500,000, the Lamborghini Aventador, which cost about $400,000, and the Aston Martin 177, which sells for a modest $1.79 million. The use of these stunning vehicles is merely a normal part of life in Dubai. However, Dubai is the 9th safest city in the world, so congratulations to them. The supercars aren't solely responsible for this. Naturally, because of the Islamic constitutional monarchies that govern the Emirates, laws in the United Arab Emirates are notoriously stringent. In Dubai, there are certain Sharia rules as well. Check out the posh police force while you're on vacation, but don't get caught smooching because it could result in deportation. However, due to the enormous volume of tourists, other areas of Dubai are far more permissive in their policies. In a conventional Middle Eastern context, it would be illegal to serve alcohol, but this is not the case in Dubai. For example, hotels and nightclubs are examples of such establishments. Dubai's population is estimated to be 15% Emirati, while the rest of the city's population is made up of people from other countries. Since the cranes are all over the place, half of the population is made up of construction workers, which makes sense given the scenario. Indian, Pakistani, and Bangladeshi nationals make up the majority of these employees. This takes us to the less pleasant aspects of Dubai's social structure: the widening gap between the rich and the poor. Emirates and upper-class immigrants earn much more money than the majority of immigrant workers, but their living conditions are far from perfect. In Dubai, the gap between the affluent and the impoverished is very wide. However, just as in any divided society, sports may always bring people together. Camel racing is the name of this sport. Instead of using juvenile jockeys, Dubai has begun using robots in the sport. Camel racing has a shady history, as you might expect. Small children used to be compelled to ride camels, which led to human trafficking in the Middle East's less developed regions. However, in Dubai, the children have been replaced by robots, which may cost up to $10,000, and it's still happening. Let's get away from camel racing for a moment. Dubai has some crazy plans in the works for the future. Dubai is aiming to construct a 4.3-mile-long climate-controlled sector of the metropolis. It was announced when Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, presented plans for the world's largest mall. The world's largest mall at 48 million square feet. This miniature city will have a retractable dome and will have hotels, apartments, highways, and parks, in addition to serving as a vast pedestrian mall. More than twice the size of Monaco, the gigantic building will be built. When you consider that Dubai often experiences temperatures of 115 degrees Fahrenheit, the concept begins to make sense. When you consider the expense, though, the idea starts to lose its appeal. Although the cost has not been formally assessed, estimations in the tens of billions of dollars have been made. Keep in mind that the cost would be substantially greater if the workers weren't paid so poorly. A total of 20,000 rooms will be housed within the dome's 100 hotels and service agencies. It appears to be a bold architectural effort, and we've never seen Dubai aim any higher in the architectural world than this. As a result of Dubai's rapid expansion, an address system was never established. However, until 2015, residents could use the address line on postal labels to draw a map or send out detailed instructions. It's much easier to be a delivery driver in Dubai now that they have developed 10-digit numbers that serve as addresses. That's all for today. What are your thoughts about the world's most expensive city? Join the conversation in the comment section below. Please click the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one.